Mom's wedding boycott. Brother's bold proposal sparks family feud and frenzy. Hey everyone, so, you want the tea on the most insane family drama that literally turned my life upside down? Well, grab your popcorn, put your coffee on speed dial, and get ready to witness the ultimate family meltdown because trust me, this story is going to keep you on the edge of your seat. I mean, I'm not one to kiss and tell, but in this case, the story is so wild that I'm willing to share all the juicy details with you. And if you're anything like me, you'll be asking yourself, how in the world could things go so horribly wrong in a family? This journey starts in the most unlikely of places, Murphy's Bar downtown, and ends with police involvement, shattered family relationships, and the age-old question, can blood really be thicker than water? Spoiler alert, not in this case. Now, I know what you're thinking. Is this guy for real? Did he and his family really have a meltdown that epic? And honestly, I'm here to confess yes. We're talking drama of the highest order. Think the OC meets My Big Fat Greek Wedding, with a dash of Sopranos-esque family politics. As the narrator of this tale, I'm here to warn you. Once you start reading, you won't be able to put it down. And who knows, by the end of this ride, you might even learn a thing or two about loyalty, family values, and just how far people will go to get what they want. So, let's dive into the depths of this family drama and unravel the tangled thread that led to the ultimate betrayal. But be warned, what happens next will blow your mind, so buckle up. When people say blood is thicker than water, I always chuckle and think about my family. I mean, Jen and I, we knew we were meant to be when we met at Murphy's Bar downtown. It was like the whole universe aligned, and we both decided to grab a drink. And before you could say, may the force be with you, we were laughing about our shared love of cheesy B-movies. Yeah, we were both proud movie nerds. But let's start from the beginning. As I said, we met at this awesome bar that's always got a live band and an endless selection of craft beers. I was there with my friends, trying to drown my sorrows after a terrible breakup. And then suddenly, this stunning woman walks in, with this infectious laugh that caught my attention. I mean, it's not every day you meet someone who shares your passion for awful sci-fi movies. We just clicked. I'm telling you, it was love at first sight. Okay, maybe not love, but it was definitely that feeling you get when you meet someone and think, hey, I think this person is pretty cool. And then we started talking about our favorite movies, and before I knew it, we were both quoting Star Wars lines in unison. It was a beautiful, beautiful moment. We bonded over our love for all things nerdy, and I was hooked. Cut to months later. We're still going strong. I mean, my friends were like, dude, when did you two meet? How did you two fall in love so fast? And I'm over here thinking, who doesn't love movie night and terrible sci-fi movies? But seriously, it was like our shared interests and quirky personalities just clicked. We were an unlikely match, but hey, it worked. Now, you're probably wondering what could possibly go wrong with this picture-perfect love story. Well, that's a story for another time. But let's just say, I have a feeling that our relationship was about to become the ultimate Kleenex finding its way around the internet moment. And who's going to tell and why? Well, that's what we're here to find out. I'll never forget the day I met Jen. I was at my favorite coffee shop, sipping on a cappuccino, trying to muster up the courage to ask my best friend what was going on with her love life. She had been through a string of failed dates, and I was starting to think she was allergic to romance. As I was listening to her vent about her latest disaster, a girl with piercing blue eyes and a bright smile walked into the coffee shop. I couldn't help but notice how beautiful she was, but I quickly redirected my attention back to my friend's woes. Weeks went by, and Jen and I would meet up regularly to grab coffee and gossip about our lives. I would often catch glimpses of her with friends or family, but we never really officially met until one fateful evening when we both ended up at the same Brew-Tiefel barn-themed bar night. That's when I saw her dance across the room, laughing with a group of friends, and twirling to the beat of the music. I was hooked. I didn't know much about her, except that she was charming, energetic, and had a wicked sense of humor. My friend, sensing my interest, nudged me and whispered, "That's Jen, by the way," as if I hadn't already guessed. I mustered up the courage to introduce myself, and much to my delight, she didn't shut down. In fact, she was warm, engaging, and witty, and before I knew it, we were chatting like old friends. We talked about everything and nothing, from our favorite TV shows, we both loved The Office, to our childhood memories of embarrassing ourselves in front of our families. At one point, we were both trying to convince each other that pineapple pizza was a culinary masterpiece. and our antics drew in a small crowd of onlookers. I'm pretty sure I even spilled a drink on my shirt, but I didn't care. I was having too much fun. That was the start of our whirlwind romance. Little did I know that a few months later, I would be preparing to propose to her in a way that would change everything. As we continued our delightful conversation, I couldn't help but wonder how my bro would react when he met Jen. Who knows? Maybe he'd end up stealing her too. I still laugh to this day when I remember my mom asking to see pictures of me and Jen together on my phone during that fateful family dinner. I had no idea why she was so interested in looking through all our posts and pictures. Maybe she just wanted to live vicariously through me or something. I mean, I've seen older moms drool over their grandkids' baby pictures and get all the feels, so who knows, right? As she's scrolling through, she's cooing over all the silly face selfies we'd taken and snickering at our goofy dance moves on the night out. I'm sitting there thinking to myself, yeah, Mom, we're living our best lives. Little did I know, this innocent picture-sharing session was about to turn into a dramatic family scandal. Just as I was enjoying the fleeting moment of connection with my mom, my brother Mark strolls into the living room, oblivious to the fact that he's just walked into a bomb about to explode. He looks through the doorway, sees Jen sitting on the couch chatting with Dad, and his eyes widen in shock. I mean, this isn't just a slow-motion reaction. I'm talking a 4K slow-mo 360-degree 3D effect where his entire complexion goes from normal to ghostly pale in 2 seconds flat. He looks like he's just sucked on a lemon, and I'm trying hard not to burst into laughter right there on the spot. But what happens next is even more priceless. As he stands there frozen, Jen notices this commotion building up and gets up to go see what's the matter. My mom tries to keep the chat going, not wanting to disturb whatever awkward moment is unfolding before our eyes. So she awkwardly says something about needing more snacks, and my dad takes this as his cue to go bring out the good stuff, as in the Costco bulk pack cheddar cheese sandwiches. Meanwhile, I'm watching my brother struggle to regain some ounce of composure, while Jen looks like she's trying to figure out why this guy's suddenly lost all his color. Needless to say, the evening didn't exactly proceed as planned. But hey, at least we had some good family laughs that night. Little did we know, however, that this incident was just the tip of the iceberg, as the next few months would involve so much drama that even the most seasoned reality TV show wouldn't have been able to keep up. But that, my friend, is a whole other chapter in this epic saga, one that I'll save for another day. Honestly, I thought I'd finally grown up and come to his senses. Newsflash, Mark hasn't changed a bit since college. As soon as he found out I was in a relationship with Jen, he acted like I was his long-lost twin, who had been possessing my body and brain since high school. "You need to break up with her right now," he shouted, like I was about to rob a bank, and he was some secret agent trying to foil the plan. Brothers before. Well, you get the idea. He even used air quotes, which I guess was some sort of nostalgic attempt to remind me of our good old days. Meanwhile, I could see him silently praying to the brothers before hose gods, thinking that his retro catchphrase would magically make our situation disappear. I couldn't help but laugh at the absurdity of it all. "Dude, you're married. You have 2 kids. I reminded him, as if he'd forgotten the part where he traded in his party hat for a mortgage and a minivan. "What's your problem?" I asked, genuinely curious, as if he was about to explain some complex mathematical theorem that only a genius like him could comprehend. But Mark was on a mission. He wouldn't let it go, like his buddy had left the stove on, and he was determined to save the day. Next thing I knew, I started getting calls at work, in the middle of the night, even on my birthday. He showed up at my apartment unannounced, wearing this ridiculous grin, hoping to convert me to his brothers over bachelor's creed. Our poor cousins were even dragged into the mix, only to be bombarded with pleas to gang up on me and make me end things with Jen. It was absolute madness. It's like Mark was living in some parallel universe where our relationship was still a fantasy football draft, and the prize was our loyalty. Yeah, right. I'll stick with my girlfriend, the one who doesn't owe me child support and understands what no means. Still, I have to give Mark credit. The guy is a master of comedic timing and over-the-top demands. Who needs a scriptwriter when you have Mark? Despite all the drama, Jen and I knew we were meant for each other. So, on our 1-year anniversary, I proposed. It was perfect, until Mark found out. He showed up at my place, completely wasted, screaming about how I betrayed him. That's when Jen and I made the decision. Mark wasn't welcome at our wedding. We figured, hey, if he can't be happy for us, why should he be there to ruin our special day? On our 1-year anniversary, I knew I had to make it special. I put on my best romantic face and showed up at Jen's doorstep with a small bouquet of her favorite flowers and a diamond ring that could blind anyone. Just kidding. It was just a nice engagement ring. As we sat down in the park, I stumbled over my words like a teen in his first crush. I managed to squeak out the proposal question, and to my relief, Jen said yes, with a smile that could light up a room, I might add. It was perfect, or so I thought. Little did I know, my Mark's world was about to crash down around him. News traveled fast, and he showed up at my place, completely tanked, yelling about how I, the ultimate heartbreaker, had betrayed him. His words still echo in my head. "You've stolen my sister, you thieves." Yeah, it was that classy. The worst part, he had the audacity to show up at my doorstep, unannounced, still swaying to the rhythm of his internal monologue, red, beer goggles. Our neighbors probably thought we were hosting some sort of bizarre street party. Needless to say, that's when Jen and I made the executive decision. Mark wasn't welcome at our wedding extravaganza. Who needs a toxic family member bringing down the mood when you've finally found your person? So the next day, my mom shows up at our house, already caffeinated and ready to blow. I mean, I've seen mom run a 5K without breaking a sweat, but this was a whole different level of energy. She's like the matador of drama, always looking for a fight. And of course, she picks the perfect opportunity. The day before our wedding, when my fiancé and I are running around like headless chickens, trying to finalize last-minute details. "All right, kids," she says, plopping herself down at the kitchen table like she owns the place, which, let's be real, she does. "We need to talk about Mark." I know, what's new, right? Anyway, she starts off by telling me how much she loves Mark, and how he's always been her favorite. No, really. Now, I'm not sure if it's just my mom being dramatic, but I'm starting to think she's mixed up favorite with kid from the younger batch. He's still in love with Jen, you see. Yes, that same Jen I'm not marrying, just to clarify. And apparently, I stole his chance at happiness, air quotes, anyone. I'm like, "Ma, I'm pretty sure I didn't steal anything. I think Mark was the one who made the choice to cheat on his girlfriend, and then pounce on my soon-to-be fiancé like a desperate cupcake." But of course, my mom doesn't hear any of that. She just keeps pouring fuel on the fire, insisting that I invite Mark to the wedding. Like, how can we not invite Mark? Maybe because he tried to sabotage our relationship. My fiancé and I exchange a knowing look, like, "Oh, this is gonna be good." We politely refuse, of course, again, because who wants to invite a snake to the wedding? But what really takes it home is when my mom drops the bomb. Either Mark comes to the wedding, or she won't even show up. The pressure is on. Who needs a force field when you have a manipulative mother-in-law? Am I right? Now, I admire her dedication to family drama. In fact, I think she should be nominated for some kind of award, Most Dramatic Mother of the Year or something. But seriously, it's like she's plotting her downfall so hard. It's like she's trying to single-handedly bring our family to ruin. But let's not forget, when all else fails, there's always the go-to-mom phrase, "I want what's best for my S." Yeah, no kidding. That's exactly why you support a cheating brother-in-law over the man I'm marrying. Keep telling yourself that, Mom. But let's move on. So with great dramatic fanfare, I respond, "Thanks for worrying, Mom. But like, haven't you seen Frozen?" Sometimes, the mom just has to let it go. Of course, the answer to that is zero. She gives me that disappointed mom look that says, "I raised you wrong." Anyway, we spend the rest of the day ignoring her antics and moving forward with the wedding planning. Who needs a calm mother when you have a self-assured fiancé like mine? And honestly, who needs a wedding when you can just have a sarcastic commentary about the absurd goings-on in your family, right? On a family values scale of 1 to 10, I think my mom is hovering around 5,000. Oh boy, where do I even start? So, I'm standing there, trying to be the peacekeeper like I always do, between my mom and my fiancé, Jen. I'm like a referee in a high school football game, but instead of flags and whistles, I'm dealing with estrogen-fueled drama. My mom's eyes are blazing like a wildfire in a tinderbox, and Jen's standing her ground, refusing to back down. I swear, I've seen robots with more expression than Jen right now. I'm trying to defuse the situation with some smooth talk, but my mom's having none of it. She's on a mission to get that engagement ring, and nothing's gonna stop her. "You need to let go of your attachment to Mark, child," she's shouting. "That ring belongs to your brother." And I'm like, wait a minute. No, it doesn't. It belongs to my fiancé, who's trying to marry me, by the way. But of course, my mom's not having it. She takes a step closer to Jen, her arms outstretched, like a zombie from a bad horror movie. I can see the desperation in her eyes. She thinks she's still got this under control. I try to position myself between them, but I might as well be trying to hold back a tidal wave with a salad fork. You need to calm down, Mom. I shout, because someone's got to be the grown-up here. But she's not listening. She's got tunnel vision now, fixated on that ring like a bird on a shiny object. Jen starts to step back, trying to create some distance between them. But my mom's like a pit bull on a chew toy. She's not letting go. That's when things take a turn for the absurd. My mom tries to slap Jen. Like, actually tries to slap her. I'm talking full-on slap, complete with flailing arm and dramatic flapping of the sleeves. I've seen grade A overacting in bad community theater productions, but this is on a whole different level. I jump in between them, using my body like a human barricade. I'm like a secret agent protecting his mole from a squad of nefarious ninjas. My mom tries to push past me, but I'm having none of it. I nudge her gently, trying not to hurt her feelings. I mean, after all, she's still my mom. Jen's staring at me like I've lost it. And maybe I have. I mean, I'm a grown man, intervening in a slapfest between my mom and my fiancé. This is exactly what I signed up for when I became an adult, right? We're both being held in a standoff, me between my mom and Jen, my arms extended to either side like a seesaw. My mom's panting like a Pomeranian, and Jen's looking like she's trying to summon a firestorm of ancient vengeance. But in a bizarre turn of events, it's not just about saving Jen from my mom's slap party. It's also about getting my mom to understand that this is a normal wedding proposal. Like, not abnormal, normal. I get it, Mom. I try to reason with her. You want to be part of this special moment. You want to be happy for us. But this isn't helping. Can we, have a big family meeting over a delicate cake afterwards? Sound good? She glares at me, and I know I've made things worse. I'm pretty sure I've broken all 3 golden rules of adulting. No physical altercations, no yelling, and no family drama. Mom's response was, shall we say, not exactly a Hallmark moment. I mean, who sends a half-hearted apology in the first place? It sounds like a paradox. I'm sorry, not really. The way she phrased it, it's as if she was giving me a participation trophy. Hey kiddo, good job being hurt. You'll get a cookie for that. Ugh, the cookie would have been nice though. Apparently, according to Mom's logic, my feelings were just a minor speed bump on the to understanding Mark's complex emotional landscape. I guess this is what they mean by motherly love. Unconditional love for everyone, except her own child. Who needs a sorry, I messed up from their parent when you can get this instead. I was starting to think Mom's idea of a heart was a flower with a few strategically arranged petals missing. I began to feel like a teenager again, being constantly told to get over my emotions and focus on the other person. You know, the person who actually committed the offense. As if my feelings were the problem, not the fact that Mark's marriage-stealing proposal still kept me up at night. It was like playing a game of emotional Jenga. I'm sorry, but followed by a long list of caveats and explanations of why I was actually the one being unreasonable. At this point, I decided to take matters into my own hands. Or rather, I took a firm stance on the situation and effectively banished Mom from our lives for a while. I mean, who needs a mom like that when you can have a little personal space and freedom? It wasn't easy, but I reminded myself, boundaries are key, and a little drama never killed anyone. Unless that someone was getting too close to my heart, or my wedding bouquet. Oh boy, that apology text from my mom was just the tip of the iceberg. It was like she thought a cute little emoji or a generic sorry would make everything okay. Newsflash, Mom. It takes more than a faint heart to make amends. A week went by, and I was doing my thing at work, trying to focus on my tasks, and pretend like the drama queen award I just gave myself didn't still have my name on it. Little did I know, my mom had a surprise waiting for me. What she didn't realize was that even a surprise ambush can get foiled by modern technology and my savvy coworker who keeps an eye on my parking spot. As I was about to enter the office, I noticed a commotion in the parking lot. My coworkers were staring at something, or someone, with a mixture of confusion and horror on their faces. That's when I saw her, my mom, standing next to her car, with her arms flailing like a wounded bird about to take flight. I recognized the signature mom hair flip and the entrenched determination in her face, which screamed, "I'm not leaving until we get this all sorted out." Apparently, she had arrived at the designated meeting spot, aka my place of work. with the intention of having a serious talk about how I was supposed to fix the family drama before it got any worse. Let's be clear, when your mom says serious talk, she means it's time to put on your best, listen more than you speak face. I must admit, the initial shock of witnessing the spectacle outside my office door did take me by surprise. And for a split second, my gut reaction was to freeze, grab my nearby cold beverage, and prepare for the impending outburst. But once I came to my senses, I knew I had two options. A, try to placate her, or B, break free from the drama and walk away. No contest here. Option B it was, with a wicked dose of leave now attempt to somehow keep public order. Unfortunately, Mom, being the persistent overachiever she is, refused to accept defeat. Without even asking to speak with me in a more publicly suitable setting, like the park or our family's secret Facebook group, she insisted that I listened intently to her impassioned speech about how I was ruining the family's reputation forever, just because I wanted to spend the rest of my life with my loving fiancé, instead of one hot guy spotted the one starring chill gal gazing at Gatsby. I had no choice but to file a police report. The harassment was getting out of hand. Of course, this led to more drama, with my mom demanding I drop the charges, because family doesn't do this to family. Well, family doesn't try to steal their son's fiancé either. But here we are. So here I am, planning a wedding without my mom or brother. But you know what? Sometimes the family you choose is more important than the family you're born into. Jen and I are happier than ever, and we're surrounded by people who actually support our relationship. And hey, at least we'll save money on the wedding guest list, right? Silver linings, people. If you enjoyed this crazy story, don't forget to like and subscribe. Trust me, I've got plenty more family drama where that came from. Drop a comment below letting me know if you've ever dealt with family drama like this. And remember, sometimes the craziest stories make the best memories. Or at least the best YouTube videos. Stay awesome, everyone, and I'll see you in the next video.